This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight, it is game number 2 of the 3-game series. We're in Denver, Colorado. Coors Field. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Colorado Rockies. Welcome to the broadcast booth here in Denver. I'm Dan McLaughlin. That's Brad Thompson. Alexa Dat is with us as well. And what do you say about last night except turn the page? That was ugly, so you're going to have that in 162.
Hey, that's the beauty of baseball. You actually get to turn that page. You play again the next day, and you're only as strong as that day's starting pitcher. Got to feel pretty good about where you're at today. Jose Quintana on the mound, Dan, and this is a huge pickup for the Cardinals. Look what he's done. Since the All-Star break, a .48 ERA. That's third lowest among MLB starters. And quickly, this rotation looks like it could be a strength.
Quintana going tonight. Last night, Miles Michaelis. Miles was beat up in the game, but hey, turn the page. Sometimes you have those in the course of a season.
You know, tip your cowboy hat, to them. Sometimes you just have to, roll with the tumbleweeds and, deal with your bad luck and get right back on that pony again.
From Coors Field in Denver. A pair of lefties on the mound tonight. Let's take a look at our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage.
Well, a couple of guys that hit lefties well. These two teams first and second in baseball when it comes to on-base percentage against lefties. The average is there. Look, the numbers say there might be some offense, but who knows in this ballpark? Every day's a mystery, Dan.
The Rockies, the Cardinals, coming up. Brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Well, the Rockies beat up on the Cardinals last night. They're trying to win consecutive games in their first series since the All-Star break. And the Cardinals, that snapped their 7-game winning streak coming into play last night. 93 degrees here in Denver, Colorado. Alexa Dat, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you as we get you set for game 2.
What really is interesting, the Cardinals have dropped the first game of each one of their road trips so far. 0 for 8, but they've won game 2 in every single one, so hope that trend continues in this one.
Carlson, Edman, Goldie here in the first. Goldschmidt serving as the DH. Arenado, Pujols at first. Then O'Neill, DeYoung, Molina, Nootbaar against the lefty, Kyle Freeland. And the first pitch is taken by Dylan Carlson, and we're underway here in game 2. Kyle Freeland beat the Padres in his last start. That was Thursday, 2 runs in 5 2/3. And his last 3 starts, he's pitched well. He's 3-0 in those games in the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Yeah, uses his 4-seam fastball in a lot. Throws in more than anybody in all of baseball. When he gets to 2 strikes, it's slider, it's curve.
And Carlson pulls it foul past Pop Warner, the Cardinals' third base coach, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, those 3 games you're talking about, Dan, you mentioned the game against the Padres, but he's faced 3 legit, playoff teams. Padres, Dodgers, Brewers in the last 3 with those 2.41 ERA, so he's been rolling.
And the 1-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson, again in center field tonight. And the breaking ball missed. Chris Guccione calling the balls and strikes tonight. Dan Merzel at first, Jeremy Rehak at second, Alan Porter, the crew chief, down at third. The 2-2. The check swing did not go. So you got Freeland pitching well in his last 3, and same thing could be said for Jose Quintana. He's been great in his last 3 starts. Big gap in left center, and the full count delivery to Dylan Carlson. And it's a leadoff walk. There's Ryan McMahon. He's at third. Last night, longest home run hit by a Rocky in the StatCast era, 495 feet. Also riding a 7-game hitting streak coming into play. Iglesias is at short. Rogers, Crone on the right side of the infield. Daza, Grichuk, Blackman in the outfield, and Diaz behind the plate. Here's Tommy Edman. So it's a different look with this lineup. Tommy hitting .280 against the lefties.
We got a couple of guys here in Dylan Carlson and Tommy Edman. Both fare better against the lefties out there. And I think we're seeing Tommy heat up a little bit. .333 over his last 5 games. Had a nice homestand. 2 hits yesterday.
And the first pitch. Kind of an odd swing there by Tommy, and strike one. He's 1 for 3 with a double head-to-head against Freeland. And Freeland working on an extra day's rest in this start here tonight. The 0-1 tapped out in front of the plate. Freeland going to second. They'll get the lead man. Brad Thompson, your Toyota key to the game.
Forget about it. Forget about it. You alluded to the rough outing yesterday. It was just a tough game. 16 runs on 22 hits. The Rockies banged out. Good thing about baseball is you get to play again today. And forget about that game totally. I don't think there's anything that you're going to learn from that one. You don't go back and watch the tape. You don't sit and have a talk about, hey, where did it go wrong? You flush the entire thing and get right back into it today.
Goldie is just 4 for 20. 5 walks against this lefty. And he's hitting all lefties. Leads Major League Baseball in batting average, .458, on base percentage, .547, slug and OPS against lefties.
Those don't even seem like real numbers.
No. And the 0-1 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Interesting where a pitcher likes to stand on the rubber, and in this case Freeland is about as far as you can get on the third base side of that rubber.
He really wants to make sure he can drive that fastball in. We were talking about that. He uses his fastball in specifically to the right-handers, as teams oftentimes stack their lineups, and he makes sure he's as on top of those guys as he can be.
And the 0-1 pitch to Goldie. Ripped out to right, sinking and dropping for a base hit. The numbers continue for Paul Goldschmidt. That brings in the former Rocky Nolan Arenado.
It's not a bad pitch either by Kyle Freeland. It's a changeup, elevated just enough for Goldie to get to it, but it's off the plate. Goldie lets it travel and shoots it to the right side. We saw a lot of this last night, didn't we, Dan? Outfielders play deep in this ballpark, especially against a guy like Paul Goldschmidt. So many singles fall in front of him.
Also, it seemed like the outfielders on both sides, to an extent, a little hesitant with the ball off the bat, just to get that right read. Arenado hitting .343 with men on base. And takes a pitch inside. Cardinals were 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position last night. And the 1-0 pitch to Arenado. A strike. St. Louis has won the season series against the Rockies for the last 11 years. And 20 times in the 26 seasons since Colorado joined Major League Baseball. They were an expansion team in 1993. And who knows, baseball may expand again coming up. I think it would make some sense. Then you could even it up, probably do realignment, and you know what? It's money for everybody. There's jobs created and there's money created with expansion fees.
Yes, certainly. I'd be very surprised if Major League Baseball does not expand again. Don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I would think sooner rather than later. Got a couple of cities that have been talked about a lot. Nashville's been talked about. Maybe Montreal, Las Vegas. A lot of different suitors.
And the 1-2 pitch with 2 runners on. Tapped foul by Arenado, who doubled here last night. Albert Pujols is on deck. So as I mentioned already, the runners on the 343 average, so he's doing a ton of damage when you need him to, in the spots in which you can create that big dent on the scoreboard, those crooked numbers.
He's very difficult to pitch to now, too. He's covering everything away. You could try to get in, but he'll even foul those off. Wait till you make a mistake.
The 1-2. Arenado hits it out to deep left, hooking, and it is a foul ball. Boy, I don't know about that. That looked to be fair to me. And immediately, Pop Warner, the Cardinal third base coach, looked back at Ali Marmol as if to say, are you kidding me?
Well, third base umpire Alan Porter's got a better view of this than we do up here in the booth, but boy, that looks fair.
That certainly looked fair to me. And the Cardinals, because it goes past the umpire, can ask that this is reviewed. My guess would be this winds up being a double, and they will challenge.
St. Louis is challenging the foul call.
Well, certainly worth it. Get a ball. It was a fastball in, and it looked like he did everything he could to keep it fair. That's a fair ball.
It's awfully close. They can enhance that, and that's one that they will definitely enhance in New York. So it's off the wall in left, and looked like it hit the wall and maybe caught a little bit of that yellow line. So they're showing it here, the replay on the video board at the ballpark.
Certainly mixed reviews here at the ballpark with all the Cardinal fans. They're starting to get loud, though, as they see the replay, slowing it down over and over again. And here's our best look at it. It does look like it catches some of that yellow. And to your point, the fact that in New York they can blow it up and see exactly where that hits, got to like your chances on this one. And after yesterday's game, you need a little bit of momentum here. I like calling this one. Don't just take that foul call and run.
And then you talk about the positioning of the runners and how they will position Arenado. You'd have to assume then that Edman would score. Goldie would be at third. You'd have second and third, and Albert Pujols coming up. We'll see.
But just the ability of Nolan Arenado to keep that ball fair is impressive. Really got to be quick, got to catch it out in front. That's something that we've seen. You mentioned Albert Pujols will be coming up. That's something we've seen over the years, his ability to keep the ball fair, that fastball in, especially from a lefty, cross-firing in there. It's tough to do.
Taking a long look at it in New York.
Well, it might be dinner break time there.
Some finals already in.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. It is a fair ball. Runners replaced, score, second and third. St. Louis will retain their challenge.
So it's another double for Nolan Arenado. And to your point, Brad, after the way things went last night, need to jump out to that early lead, set a tone.
How do you not? How do you not in that spot? And especially with the eyes they have on it. You know the Cardinals trust in their video team. Chad Blair and company always on top of things.
I guess Albert's coming up. Pujols hitting .323 against the lefties this year. And the first pitch is ripped, but foul. Playing in game number 3034 here tonight. And that will tie now. Ty Cobb for 5th all-time in games played in Major League history here tonight.
We joke around about it a lot, but as you're looking at some of these record boards and some of the comps and the careers, you're seeing a lot of black and white doing something right.
It's amazing.
And the numbers against the lefties, as you mentioned, the 323, the 907 OPS. I mean, that's why he was such a fit. Now, we've seen Albert grow into a bigger role here, especially in the last month where he was swinging the hottest bat in July. But this is why he was a big fit for this roster in spots just like this.
The 1-1. And a base hit for Pujols. Goldschmidt will score. Arenado to third. And it's a 2-0 St. Louis lead on the RBI single by Albert Pujols. That's 3 consecutive hits for the Cardinals.
Well, Albert just jumps a fastball here from Kyle Freeland. He's trying to get in with this thing, ends up middle up, and Albert gets to it quickly. The bat still looks pretty fast.
Drives in his 25th of the year. 2-0 Cardinals. Runners at the corners, and here is Tyler O'Neill. Well, this is exactly what the Cardinals needed to do here in the first inning. After the onslaught of the Rockies offense last night. That's off the plate. Runners at first and third. Tyler O'Neill at the plate. Hitting .226, 6 home runs, and he's driven in 37. The Cardinals as a team really hit lefties well. O'Neill .293.
We saw Tyler last night. He lined out 3 times, first 3 at-bats, and really stinging the baseball. And I know it gets frustrating. He's had his struggles since coming back off of the IL. Only 182 since coming back. But if he maintains that approach, he's going to be just fine.
The 2-0. Tied him up, and it's 2-1. For Arenado, that was double number 28. 2 back of the team leader, and that's Paul Goldschmidt, who has 30 this year. A 2-1 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill drives it into the gap in left center. That ball is down. Arenado scoring easily. O'Neill to second. Albert trotting to third. The bats have come alive here in game 2 for the Cardinals in a 3-0 lead.
It looks like so far so good. Forgetting about yesterday. They're trying to get a little payback from yesterday. Changeup. Hung up in the zone. He puts it right in the gap. Nice swing by Tyler. Just talking about how he was swinging the bat well yesterday. Gets himself something in the zone and drives it. It's very little movement with the body too. Just quick hands.
It's quiet with his lower half. Already the pitching coach, Darryl Scott, out to visit with Freeland, who has allowed 4 consecutive hits, 3 runs. Walked the first man he saw. The only out he's gotten was a little comebacker to him to get the lead man off the bat of Tommy Edman.
Well, we were just talking about the last 3 starts. He had been so good against the Padres, Dodgers, and Brewers, but the 3 starts before that, and he had an ERA about 8.5. So maybe getting back to some of those tendencies here for Freeland.
And here comes Paul DeYoung. His last 5 games, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and 5 walks. Second and third, and that pitch drops in for a strike. And the 0-1 pitch to the Cardinals shortstop. Homered here last night. It was a long one. Overshadowed by the offense of the Rockies. And really by the long one from McMahon, who hit it 495 feet.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive, but not overshadowed for the Cardinals. They know how important DeYoung is to what they're trying to do.
And a base hit. DeYoung again. A single brings in Albert Pujols. 5 consecutive base hits for the Cardinals here in this first inning. And here comes Yachty.
Another fastball elevated from Freeland. Gets it in. Not a bad pitch, but Paul DeYoung can handle the fastball in. Remember, that was his home run yesterday. That long shot was a heater in, got the bat too.
Eighth man to come to the dish, and it's Yadier Molina, who's 3 for 8 against this lefty head-to-head. That's fouled back. Runners at first and third. The next in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Lars Nootbaar on deck. And the 0-2 pitch to the Cardinal catcher tonight. Pop back and foul just below us. Crowd still filing in, but you can tell, I'm sure, at home, this is a big Cardinal crowd here tonight.
They piled in early too. Batting practice. See a bunch of red shirts rolling in early, wanting to get a glimpse of a little bit of everybody, but certainly Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina.
A quick move, and DeYoung back in safely. And fans tomorrow maybe get their final look at Yadi and Albert here in Denver, and we remind folks to do that at home in St. Louis too. Game number 110 here tonight. And that gets away. It hits Molina, and now the bases will be loaded. On an 0-2 pitch, Freeland hits Molina, and here comes Nootbaar with the bases loaded.
Well, it tells you exactly how this inning is going for Freeland. He's made a few mistakes over the plate. He's thinking to himself, I can't do that again. I better bury this one, and overcooks it.
It's an 0-2 pitch as well. Well, a grand slam might be the cherry on top of this first inning.
Well, you'd hear some newts if that happened.
Big time. 4-0 already. Inside to Nootbaar. That was pitch number 30 of the inning by Freeland. Nootbaar is 1 for 4 in his career with the bases loaded. No grand slams, no extra base hits. And the 1-0 pitch. What are you seeing right now with Freeland?
Well, I see a guy that made a few mistakes early, and now he looks like he's trying to overthrow and try to be perfect. Arm side misses, that 0-2 breaking ball to Yadi. Tried to make that thing great instead of trusting it and letting it work. And I see the Cardinals having a good approach of seeing anything up in the zone and putting a good pass on it.
And a lefty starts to throw in their pen. They've got 2 lefties, Lucas Gilbreth and then the former Cardinal, Austin Gomber. And Gomber getting loose. Nootbaar into center. Grichuk back, and makes the catch. 2 runners will tag up, 1 will score, and that makes it 5-0. Nice play there by Grichuk. And Nude here at Coors Field.
And Grichuk had to range a long way to end up getting to this. This ball continued to travel. His fastball up in the zone. That swing from Nootbaar is so level. Nice job. Drives in number 20.
So Molina at first, DeYoung at third. The Cardinals have jumped out to a 5-0 lead. And here's Carlson for the second time in this inning, as he walked and started this ball game off with that walk. Rockies batted around last night in the 3rd inning. Ball and a strike. Five hits, 5 runs. Carlson hitting .329 against left-handed pitching.
We talked about it yesterday, Dan, the idea of this feeling like a trap series. You sweep a homestand, you have the Yankees. Yesterday was not the Cardinals falling into a trap. Yesterday was Miles Michaelis had a tough day. You found yourself in a hole early. You got to love the response from this ball club early on today.
And the 1-2 pitch kept in front by Diaz. Cardinals have not been a great road team generally. They've lost 11 of their last 17 away from Busch, 25 and 29 their road record this year. In terms of teams in postseason, that only trails the Rays. The 2-2. The fly ball to center, late break by Grichuk. Plenty of time though to get underneath it and make the catch. Big inning for St. Louis. They bat around. They put up a 5 spot for Jose Quintana, his second Cardinals start coming up tonight. The lefty toes the rubber for St. Louis when we come back. Coors Field in Denver. And start number 2 is a Cardinal for Jose Quintana.
Yeah, start number 22 overall, and Jose Quintana, first time out with the Cardinals against the Cubs. Man, did he look good. Only surrendered 1 hit. It was a solo home run in the first, then punched out 7. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Quintana uses that 4-seam fastball, does get in on right-handers well. The curve has been really effective, and also uses that changeup sporadically. Fast worker, strike thrower, and a nice addition to this Cardinal rotation.
It's actually relied on that curveball a little bit more over this 3-game stretch in which he's had success. And this will be the lineup that he'll face: Charlie Blackmon, Jose Iglesias, Brendan Rodgers, then C.J. Cron, Randall Grichuk, Diaz, McMahon, Montero, and Daza. Charlie Blackmon. Quintana allowed a season-high 6 runs, 5 innings back on the 15th of July here in Denver. And tonight is 6th ever start at this ballpark. And the first pitch by Jose Quintana. Taken for a strike, and he's working with Yadier Molina here tonight.
Well, I hope to see him working down there at the bottom of the zone all day long. This is something that you and I talked about yesterday during the ball game, is the ability to get it down at Coors Field. Tough for pitchers to do.
A ball and a strike. Love the pace. I love the way he carries himself, the mannerisms, the confidence that he shows.
He's a vet. I mean,
Yep.
It's a salty veteran in the game. Parts of 11 years, just over 9 years of service time.
And a ground ball softly hit to short. DeYoung over to Albert Pujols, and the out. Round the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Albert Pujols at first base tonight. Tommy Edman at second. DeYoung at short. Arenado third. Yachty behind the plate. Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson, and Lars Nootbaar in the outfield.
Your team in the first inning scores 5 hits. You want to get them back in there quickly.
And the first pitch, a strike. So in that ball game Thursday against the Cubs, Quintana did not factor in the decision, but he was awfully good. 1 run, 6 innings. That was a home run, and the Cardinals won it 7-2. Jose Iglesias puts it in play. Diving stop. Arenado gets up. Oh, what a play! Nolan being Nolan back in Denver.
Nolan had about 3 balls hit to him yesterday that he just barely wasn't able to make the highlight play. Well, makes one here early on. Knew he had to get up quickly and make a throw because Iglesias can move a little bit still. A good, strong throw.
I love watching him play, man.
Me too. I love watching him practice, too.
Yep.
I mean, he's a great – if you get to a ballpark early, he's a guy to keep an eye on. Watch how he works.
Brendan Rodgers. I always used to go to the ballpark early to watch Ozzie go through his routine, and it was just magical watching the guy, how he fielded ground balls, how he got ready. But Nolan Arenado practices some of these things that you see in a game that you would never, ever imagine popping up. But he has practiced many of these things.
Oh, the throw from a knee, and I mean, he's got an innate athletic ability. I mean, he can make some crazy plays, but he does work on it.
It is fought off and hit down the right field line off the screen. Brendan Rodgers. The back to the infield plays, the odd positions that he puts his body in to make throws. It's not by accident.
Well, and imagine, how much time and how much effort it takes to do that at that level and hit the way he does at that level. The guy is always working.
The 1-2 is just over Arenado and into left field. And a base hit for Brendan Rodgers. C.J. Cron will be the batter. Picked up his 23rd home run last night. He's driven in 79 team highs for the Rockies. Cron against Quintana head-to-head, just 1 for 8. Mets over the Reds today, 10-2. Cubbies win 4-2 over Washington. Milwaukee beat Tampa Bay 4-3. Miami in the 8th inning leading the Phillies 2-1. Always a key game to look at with the Phillies chasing in the wild card. And San Diego over San Francisco 13-7. Two balls and no strikes. Good breaking ball.
Go backdoor curveball 2-0. You know you've got a good feel for things, especially in this ballpark. And we're seeing him be able to work down the slider, the curveball. Both of them have had good movement to him, good bite. That was a great look at it right there. Quintana keeping the fingers on top of that breaking ball.
Missed in. 3-1 with Grichuk on deck. Grichuk 5 hits last night.
Yeah, have a night.
Yeah. Play him to pull on the infield. Deep straight away in the outfield. And taken just a bit low. So Randall Grichuk against the Cardinals last night with 5 hits. It started off with the infield hit, little chopper, a lot of those type of hits early on, and then the wheels came off for the Cardinals.
Grichuk did it a bunch of different ways. It starts with the chopper, ends with the home run. Pretty good day for him.
Randall on a modest 4-game hitting streak, but 11 for his last 17, 2 home runs. Strike zone's a little tight here from Chris Guccione.
Well, you'd love to be getting some of these calls, but I like the narrow misses here so far from Quintana as he and Yadier Molina are going to go talk it over.
You've been in that spot when Yadi comes out. What's that conversation like?
Well, it's obvious early on he's seeing something and really wants to relay it now. So whether it's telling him, hey, you don't have to be too fine here, or just trust on staying down. That's the difference of Yadier Molina. In an inning like this where you just ended up putting up 5 on the offensive side, you want to be able to shut the door, and Yadi helps do that. Whether it's a veteran like Quintana or a young pitcher, he can calm anybody down.
2 on, 2 outs, and the fastball in for a strike. It is a gorgeous night here in Denver. We'll have a day game tomorrow, and then the Cardinals back home on Friday night. Milwaukee in town. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Grichuk. Grichuk was with the Blue Jays. Raimel Tapia went the other way to Toronto, and Grichuk comes to Denver. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Boy, what it must do for a guy that's been around baseball a long time like Quintana, as you mentioned the numbers, and nearly 10 years of major league service, but to be thrust into a pennant race in your first game that you pitch in. Cubs and Cardinals, over 43,000 folks at Busch Stadium in the middle of the week. It's going to pick you up a little bit.
Well, we saw it when he first got there, even before he pitched. He was in the dugout, and we saw him just looking around and taking in the atmosphere. It is different. Quintana's not giving in, man. He is working corners. When you think about that, too, the career that he's had to this point, and you talked about it last night, he really has served every role. I mean, this guy has been the ace of a staff. He's had to reestablish himself like this year. He's only pitched in the postseason 1 season. That was 2017. Pitched in 4 games, started 3 of them. He wants more. Like, that's what you play for.
The 2-2 pitch to Grichuk. Chop to the right side. Albert will go to second. And DeYoung is there for the force. Albert was just throwing a dart right there. A little dart.
Nailed it.
Little defense behind Quintana thanks to Nolan. 5-0. Lights, pitch-by-pitch features, select live broadcast coverage, and more. You won't miss a beat when you download the MLB app today. Cardinals Hall of Famer Willie McGee and the 82 Club will be celebrated this upcoming weekend beginning on Friday night, as 22 of the members of the 1982 Championship Club will be in attendance at Busch Stadium. Tommy Edman grounded into a fielder's choice and scored. Edman, Goldschmidt, and Arenado for St. Louis. What a thrill it must be for Kyle Freeland, who was born in Denver, to pitch now here for the Rockies. Inside corner and a strikeout. First strikeout of the night.
And for the Rockies, that's a nice sight to see. Spots up that heater in.
Paul Goldschmidt, base hit to right, and a run scored first time up. Take a look at our Kia player profile, highlighting the Cardinal first baseman since '74, the highest average against lefties. Goldie, then Bagwell, the Hall of Famer, Ryan Braun, who was just inducted into the Brewers Hall of Fame, and Brett Boone. We saw Brett's brother over the weekend, Aaron Boone. And the Yankees lost again today against Seattle. They dropped 2 of 3.
Yeah, they've been scuffling. Rizzo's had the back issue. Carpenter breaks the foot.
They're saying Carpenter can avoid surgery, but minimum 6 weeks is out.
Ends up being a clean break, no fracture.
And the 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, these are not the counts that I would like to be in against Paul Goldschmidt. And it's easy, easy to say don't nibble against him, but you can't afford to fall behind.
So I think what you're saying is that on maybe this pitch or the next pitch, it'll be home run number 27. Is that what you're saying?
If he comes to him, I'd say this pitch now.
All right. Let's see what you got. 3-1 pitch to Goldie. We got to swing the bat, Paul. But we'll take that too.
That's the beauty of Goldie. He'll take his walks. He knows he's got a guy behind him that can put one in the seats.
That really is the beauty of what Paul Goldschmidt does. He just, many times, more times than not, does not expand his zone.
No, he doesn't. Does not press. You don't need to when you have protection in a lineup.
So walk number 2 by Kyle Freeland. And here is Nolan Arenado, who doubled off the wall first time up and initially ruled foul, but then replay showed it was indeed a fair ball off the wall. 28th double for Arenado. Also brought in his 70th run. He now has an 8-game hitting streak. Back to Freeland. Fires wide and out at second. And again, the Cardinals will have to take a look at it. Very close at second base.
It was close. It looked like Rogers was able to get back right at the last second. And you could see as soon as I saw Freeland wind up to make that throw, it looked like it was going to be trouble.
Cardinals will not challenge. Ooh, that's close. Woo.
A nice job by Brendan Rodgers reaching out. Yeah, barely beats him.
Here's Pujols. RBI single to left first time up. First pitch to him. And a strike. Albert with 686 home runs, 10 back of A-Rod for 4th all-time in baseball history. The 0-1. Made his debut at this ballpark, and a single up the middle in the 7th inning of that ball game here at Coors Field. Who would have thought it then? The 1-1. I thought, okay, this is a pretty nice player, makes the team, young guy. Players are pulling for him. They want him to be on the team. And here we are a couple of decades later. He's got 686 home runs.
Well, you knew they saw something when they gave him the number 5.
Yeah, that's true.
In this organization.
The 1-2. Inside, and it's 2-2.
That's got to be fun for you, too, as you're talking about that debut. I mean, your voice has been the soundtrack of his career. I mean, you're there for number 1. You're there for the final season.
Been pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty enjoyable, I bet.
I don't think I'll see another hitter like this. The 2-2 pitch to Albert Pujols. A little squibber off the end of the bat, foul. Well, for me, he's the best hitter I've ever seen, and certainly the best right-handed hitter I've ever seen.
I'm not sure you're going to get much pushback there.
No. There's some that would say Miguel Cabrera, and you can make a case for that. You'd say Bonds, of course. 2-2 pitch. And Pujols hits it high in the air into left center. And he's got a ground rule double. 2 for 2 tonight. Rockies get a break with that hopping over the wall.
Well, Albert's done it a couple of different ways so far. His RBI single in the first was a fastball up. This is a backdoor slider and a pretty good pitch. And just able to get the barrel to it. He thinks it's gone, or he's that good. He knows it's ground rule double, one or the other.
And now it's O'Neill with runners at second and third. And the RBI double back in the first and a run scored. Way inside. Freeland pitched at Evansville. He was a Purple Ace from the Missouri Valley Conference. And a high pick, too. He was a first-round choice, but the highest picked ever out of Evansville is one Andy Bennis, as he went number 1 overall.
He was a pretty good one.
Yep. Pitch number 56 already coming up for Freeland. Runners at second and third. Cardinals leading 5-0 here in the top of the second. And the next pitch to Tyler O'Neill. In the air. Right field. Charlie Blackmon under it and makes the catch. Cardinals strand a pair, and we're midway through 2. So we visit with Alexa Dad. Alexa.
Dan and Brad, hello for the first time tonight here on the broadcast. I had a chance to visit with pitching coach Mike Maddox before the game today to talk a little bit about the trade deadline. He said it was a Christmas gift in August getting these two guys. Quintana, he mentioned, was a good quality strike thrower, that 4-pitch mix. Veteran presence, loves the command, and Dan and Brad, like you talked about, he works quickly. In terms of Montgomery, that fierce competitor, great debut with the Cardinals, attacking his former team. Said, those guys are my friends, but not my friends when I go out there. Mike Maddox telling me, having these two plus Stratton down the stretch, oh, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So far, so good with those two. Montgomery, his next start will be at home on Friday night, and that'll be against Eric Lauer, a couple lefties. Wainwright, Corbin Burns Saturday, and then Michaelis Ashby on Sunday.
Just looked at this team's needs at the deadline, and so much buzz around Juan Soto, and rightfully so, but a couple of really nice pickups.
Inside to Diaz. Paul Gillespie, Lisa Cooper and family, they are here tonight, huge Cardinal fans. And enjoying Cardinal baseball here at Coors Field in Denver. A lot of Cardinal fans here, but Paul Gillespie, Lisa Cooper and family, enjoy it. By the way, that was the 681st career double for Albert Pujols. 681. Fouled back, full count. That's 5th most all time. And the 3-2 pitch. Missed. The second walk issued by Quintana. While we have a moment, quick word from BOS.
You're moving up in the world. You deserve a bank that can keep up with your changing needs. It's time to make the bold move. BOS. Bank boldly.
Here's Ryan McMahon. That home run that he hit last night was his 11th. He's driven in 52. Arenado way off the line, and a fastball and a strike.
A lot of times you think about home runs like that, 495 feet, and I guess there aren't too many home runs like that, but your thought is power on power, big fastball, put a big swing on it. It was on a changeup that he drove the ball that far.
The next swung on and missed. And prior to the ball game tonight, the Cardinals recalled Jake Woodford from AAA, designated T.J. McFarland for assignment. Woodford was optioned back on July 2nd and then was in the Memphis rotation. He's gone 2-1 with a 1.96 ERA in 5 starts.
Now, Woodford provides you some length out in that bullpen too. Not that you want to use it. You also have Palante out there that can eat up some innings. But disappointing, obviously, for T.J. McFarland. Signed him back. He was so good for the Cardinals last year, but they need to make a move, and that's it.
A little bit low. And it is 2-2. Field of Dreams game is coming up. It's got the Cubs and the Reds this year.
Pretty cool setup, isn't it?
It's awesome.
Have you ever been to the Field of Dreams site?
I have not.
Me neither. I got to do a road trip.
Outside corner, and the strikeout of McMahon, and that's his first strikeout tonight.
I'm pretty sure that Ryan McMahon was not looking for a fastball. That's exactly what he gets. He gets the sinker away. He knew it.
And the movie gets me every time. Love that movie, and I'm going to assume that
I have seen that one.
Yep, you haven't seen Hoosiers, but I guarantee you've seen Field of Dreams. The pitch taken low. Montero is on an 8-game hitting streak, the former Cardinal farmhand. 12 for 30, 5 doubles and a home run. The 1-0. Boy, you got a tongue lashing today for your behavior on the telecast last night. Well, the great Alan Stout. We had the chance to visit with Alan, our producer, and one of them that we had back home in St. Louis, and he was none too pleased with your behavior on the game last night.
I don't believe that to be true. I think the Stouty loved every bit of it.
He kept you in place.
I do need accountability partners here and there.
Stouty is just the man for the job. Thinking about you.
Somebody's got to keep me in line. You're not going to do it.
No, I've tried. Gave up on you and ball game.
A real team player you are.
Hey, I tried.
I don't need you to try. I need you to do. Dave Duncan told me that.
Is that what he said?
Dave, I'm trying. Yeah, I need you to do.
Got a lot of guys that can try.
Get somebody on a stance to try. Need you to do.
Now, would Tony give you a tongue lashing or would Dunk? Or was it more just a stare?
Well, no, Tony, if somebody was going to get into me, it was Tony.
Yeah.
And it was generally when a ball flew high and tight on somebody.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, because he knew that it was going to be Albert that might end up catching one. And understandably, want to protect him.
So he didn't really care that maybe you were a little wild and ineffective. It was more about protecting Albert.
Yeah.
I got you.
When you got a golden goose, you protect it.
Well, Stouty, I'm keeping my eyes on BT tonight.
In line.
I think Quintana may have been a little confused about the count. And it is 3-2. We would love the ground ball and a double play here. The 3-2 pitch. There's your ground ball. Out there, the turn and a double play. Arenado, Edman, Albert. First time we saw Paul DeJong in the big leagues in 2017. His first ever major league at bat, a home run off of Greg Holland. Welcome to the big leagues. And then last night, it was home run number 101. And already here tonight, a base hit to left and a run batted in.
It's so nice to see this for Paul DeJong coming back, having some success early on, and the big power potential that is there. I don't care how much you work, how much success you have at the big league level. When you struggle, it ends up wearing on you a little bit. So he goes down, resets, comes back, and is going to try to be a key contributor down the stretch.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2. Cardinals turn their 105th ground ball double play. That's tied with the Rockies now for the most in Major League Baseball to end that second inning. And an 0-2 pitch to DeJong. Pulled foul. Ballpark's starting to fill up a little bit. We have the 6:40 local starts here in Denver.
The first couple of games of this series, there's been a great energy in this ballpark.
Popped up. Second baseman Rogers going out, calling for it, then called off by Blackman, who makes a basket catch. And that's the first out. Musial Awards return to Stiefel. That'll be November 19th. It's always a great night. The best moments in sportsmanship. Tickets went on sale today. They're available at musialawards.com. Congrats to Frank Veverito, longtime president of the St. Louis Sports Commission. Recently announced that he's going to retire. And Frank has done a ton for sports in St. Louis. One of the great guys in our community.
Brought a lot of huge events to St. Louis over the years.
That's yanked foul by Molina. That gentleman in the front row not ready to come into your picture, but he's been raiding your closet, I think.
That is embarrassing because I almost wore that same thing.
That's one of your shirts. 2 balls and a strike.
I do like those. Mine doesn't have the Rockies emblem on it, but same idea.
I like that. Hit up the middle and gloved by the shortstop. Iglesias knows he's got time and makes the play. Yachty was hit by a pitch his first time up. And it brings in Lars Nootbaar, sent one to deep center with the bases loaded back in the first, and picked up a run batted in, his 20th of the year. We were talking about the best hitters. How about for you? I mean, Albert's in that conversation. Cabrera, Bonds, probably Gwynn, Ichiro.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're barking up the right tree there. I mean, those are the guys. Even though, I mean, boy, a lot of question marks around it. Certainly, if you're just looking at the overall numbers, you mentioned his name earlier. He's 10 away from A-Rod. Was up in there. Now, I don't put him in the same class as some of those. A couple of transgressions, perhaps. But he's there. I mean, he was one of those guys that nobody wanted to face.
Into the gap in right center. Lars can really run. On his way to third. Nootbaar standing up with a triple. His teammates, they love him.
The way that he is able to turn around anything at the top of the zone is just so impressive. We've shown it a lot, the level stroke that he has. This is a fastball. It's up above the zone and just stays right on it. He drove a ball yesterday in the ball game off that wall in right center. This one kicks well. Grichuk has to spin, and that extra second has got Newt standing on third.
Now Dylan Carlson, who is walked, fly to center with 2 runners on. 0 for 1 tonight. 13-game on-base streak now for Nootbaar. First triple of the season for Newt, second of his career. When you see guys that get a ball like that in the gap, I love watching athletes at this level run like he can. I mean, he's fast. He's one of the faster players in the league.
Well, that right there, that's one of the most exciting plays in the game.
The 2-0. Slowly hit. Freeland off the mound, steps, throws, and a strike to first, and C.J. Cron. Cardinals strand their 5th of the night. We're midway through 3, and it's 5-0. Mid-America Transplant is Sunday, August 14th. Purchase of a theme ticket. Fans receive a Cardinals cap supporting organ and tissue donation. Tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Here's Jonathan Daza. And the first pitch off the plate. Daza is 0 for his last 8 with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Little flare. Edman going out. Can't make the play. And a base hit into shallow right field.
That felt like one of the hits the Rockies had last night, didn't it?
Yes.
It's a really good pitch here. Fastball in off the plate, ties him up, but just enough to get it out there. Daza's a really good fastball hitter, specifically on the inner half, so just gets the hands to it, but not hit hard at all.
I get into it too, okay? Don't give me that look.
Oh, you love this song.
I like the walk-up song. I do. Fans get into it. I don't know if you knew this, Brad, but we are in the entertainment business.
So would you rather go, if you were a player, would you go with a catchy song that you knew everybody would be in on, or would you go with one that you think pumps you up?
What if one does that for the others? So the fans would probably pump me up. Hit down the left field line and out of play. I probably want it to where the fans are involved. But what if I really stink? I mean, that could be a problem too.
Well, then at least they still like your song.
That's right.
So that's a good call. Being a people pleaser.
It's all about the people, Brad.
Good call. Good call on that. Like, man, this guy is terrible, but his song. Oh, I hope he's in the lineup. Skipper, put him in there.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Grounder foul past Albert Pujols and the first base coach, Ron Gideon. Blackman hitting .287 against the lefties. I can't believe that you said last night you did not get a chance to have your entrance song as a reliever.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that didn't happen.
Huh.
Now maybe I missed the memo. I was supposed to talk to somebody, but you know, as we talked about, I didn't really talk to much of anybody.
No, you didn't. So who got you to lighten up a little bit and be one of the boys? I'm assuming Izzy helped that.
No, I always had that in smaller groups. You know, bullpen was a good group. You could loosen up a little bit, and Izzy definitely did help me. He also let me know when I went too far. He put me right back into place.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Which I appreciate, and I feel like everybody needs.
The 2-2 pitch to Charlie Blackman. Breaking ball foul.
I've told you in the past, though, I think it was 2007 in spring training, sitting in the clubhouse and just kind of cutting it up with the guys, and Chris Carpenter sitting there. He goes, "When did you get so funny?" I go, "I've been funny the whole time, but you just haven't talked to me much."
Yeah, that's the combination there. Carp, all business.
Yes.
And you now, we know who you are now.
Oh, and Carp also came up. I mean, he came up veteran, Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Young guys don't talk, don't even look at anybody. So, like, that's how he was brought up. And I love that, too. Like, I love the earning your way. But as we talked about yesterday, young guys have a bigger impact on this game than they ever have. And being equals early on and feeling comfortable walking into the clubhouse, there's something to be said for that as well.
Well, it's really changed too. Like the hazing, which is supposed to be good-natured and to welcome you in, but that's even lessened a little bit from even when you were playing.
It's been kind of legislated now.
Yeah.
The bullpen bag, the guys who used to have the bag and they'd send them out there, pink backpack, they've got rid of that. I think they've done a lot of things the right way. And I think the Cardinals are a great example of a team that have great veterans that bring up the young guys the right way also.
Baseball dropped right down and nearly on top of the head of Ali Marmol. Knock some sense into him, maybe. I'm going to make sure that he knows that you said that.
I was just going to say, we all know who said that.
And Ali would laugh.
We'll see.
Thanks, partner. 2-2 pitch to Charlie Blackman with a runner at first. And we'll do it again. Charlie Blackman has really had a nice career. And he was a two-way player at Georgia Tech and was a very good pitcher at one point, and then gave that up to become position player full time.
This is a guy you just don't see it a lot, and we're celebrating it with Yadier Molina, a guy that's been here his whole career. They love Charlie Blackmon around here.
If he gets traded to the Yankees, you wouldn't recognize him.
I don't even remember what he looks like without that beard.
Three and two with the runner at first. That's Daza. Short lead at first. Now running. And the pitch is a base hit into center field. Daza on his way to third. Throw cut off by DeYoung. Runners at the corners for the Rockies.
It's a heck of an at-bat right here by Charlie Blackmon. On the 10th pitch of the at-bat, your Chevy pitch track gets a curveball. It's center cut. And gets himself a single. Runners on first and third. Fouled off a couple of tough pitches to get to that spot.
In the air, right field. Nootbaar over with the catch, spins, and throws into the cutoff man, Tommy Edman, as the run scores. Knowing the speed of Daze, he's not going to take a chance and keeps the double play in order.
No reason to play hero right there.
Iglesias drives in his 42nd. And the batter will be Rogers, who's singled to left. Runner at first and one down, and the Rockies get on the board to make it 5-1. And that pitch high. And the 1-0 pitch to Brendan Rodgers. Take it for a strike.
It's a really good spot with the changeup by Quintana. The big key with that pitch is keeping it down. When he runs into some trouble against that pitch, it's elevated. This year, opposition 400 against the changeup.
Two strikes, and it's 1-2.
Good example, though, of why that pitch can be so effective. You throw that changeup, and then you follow it up with a 92-mile-an-hour sinker right at the same spot.
Cardinals will have Edman, Goldschmidt, Arenado coming up. Leading 5-1. And the 1-2 pitch to Brendan Rodgers from Quintana. Swing and a miss. And that's the second strikeout for the Cardinal lefty.
Well, down and away, and then fastball elevated. Changing the eye levels there. Gets him in swing mode.
There's something about having a lefty or two in a rotation, isn't there?
Like to be able to mix it up.
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about just having different looks. I like having different looks on an entire pitching staff. You've got, it's nice to have a sidewinder if you can have one of those out in your bullpen, but I think it really does help to mix it up.
C.J. Cron, and the first pitch popped up. Foul territory. Yachty under it and has it. The RBI by Iglesias, and the Rockies get on the scoreboard. It's 5-1 as we move to the fourth. Check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. And if you weren't with us early on, you missed a lot of hits in the first inning for St. Louis. The Cardinals had 5 hits in the first inning, and they scored 5 runs.
Well, this is exactly the response that you wanted to see out of this Cardinal team, out of the offense.
Tommy Edman chops it to third, and one pitch, one away here in the fourth. We get to watch Goldie every day, Arenado every day, the occasional Albert Pujols. Who's a player now that is on an opposing team that you say, man, I'm going to stop. I'm watching that guy. For me, the other day was Judge.
Me too.
Seeing him in person.
Yeah, that was the first one that popped up for me, was watching him, knowing he was coming to town. You and I have talked about a lot about the best team that we've seen this year, and the Braves name pop up a lot. I enjoy watching them. Ronald Acuna Jr. to me is one of the most exciting players. I enjoy watching Austin Riley over there also. They got a really good ball club.
Mookie Betts would be in that conversation for me.
Oh, certainly.
But I guess it's just the physical presence of Judge. Seeing him on TV is one thing, then seeing him in person is another.
Well, he's got that type of power where you might see something you've never seen before.
Yes.
That's the difference with him.
And he's 6'7", he's 280 pounds, and
he roams center field.
He was in the starting lineup game one in center.
Yeah.
And then they moved him to right. And then there was a ball that he ran first to third on. And I mean, he was gliding. It was just, wow. It just caught your eye. Oh, 0-2 pitch to Goldie.
You see before the game the other day, it was Julio Rodriguez of Seattle and Judge exchanging jerseys. Yeah. Kind of cool. And Julio Rodriguez, one of those players too. You watch him and you say, hey, I'm gonna sit here and keep an eye on him.
Yep. A ball and 2 strikes on Paul Goldschmidt. Ooh, just missed. Goldie has been on base twice tonight with a single to right field, a run scored in that first inning, and then he walked in the second.
Kyle Freeland wanted that slider away. I'll tell you this, Chris Guccione, home plate umpire, has been really consistent back there tonight.
2-2.
Those are the kind of calls too against Goldie that you have to have go your way. Like the one on the corner, if he ends up getting it, you're in trouble.
3-2 pitch, and it's hit sharply to short. Backhanded. Iglesias got it to first on a hop, and what a play. He is really slick at short. Really good defender, always has been.
A good defender, and he's swinging it this year. Been a nice pickup for them. One of their free agent acquisitions this offseason. Ball is scorched, 109 miles an hour off the bat.
Well, that's a good play, and understanding how to use the turf to his advantage.
That's another thing you practice.
Nolan Arenado. RBI double and a run scored in the first, and he's 1 for 2, and now he's got his second hit with a base hit to left, and it brings in Albert. Every time he is in a lineup, he's making history, and that includes tonight, the most games played in Major League history. And he is tied with Ty Cobb, 3,034 games. He is singled and he has doubled. Run scored and an RBI. First pitch, a strike.
Just think about the physical toll it takes to play in that many ball games, and what it takes for you to get ready to play those many games, the things you have to play through. Oh, by the way, how talented you have to be for people to let you play that long.
Well, 1 pitch. Debuted April 2nd of 2001 here at Coors Field. He was 21. He was a left fielder, batting 6th between Placido Polanco and Mike Matheny. It was a base hit off of Mike Hampton up the middle. in his career with 2 outs. Albert Pujols is a .290 career hitter with 233 home runs coming with 2 outs.
If you're Kyle Freeland, too, you're looking at it and say, all right, I tried the fastball up. He hit that. I tried the slider away. He hit that as well.
The chopper hit up the middle, and Iglesias will flip it over to first and the out. Cardinals have left 6 on through 4 innings, and they lead it 5-1. 25,000 fans 16 and older receive a wearable replica ring from the '82 World Championship Club. Thanks to Ameren, Missouri. And you don't know which player's ring you'll get until you walk through the gates. Cardinals.com/promotions. And the first pitch, a ball to Randall Grichuk. Yachty shaking his head. He thought that was a strike. Grichuk rounded into a fielder's choice first time up. The 1-0. Randall now in his 4th different major league club. Angels, Cardinals, Blue Jays, and now the Rockies. And the 1-1.
He's had some pretty big power years. He had 24 home runs with the Cardinals in 2016. His high was 31. Did that in 2019 with the Blue Jays. Showed off some of that power last night. One of his 5 hits.
He's going to wind up having a nice, solid big league career.
Yes, he is.
1-2 pitch and a grounder hit to Tommy Edman on the short hop. Makes the play. And Randall is 0 for 2 tonight. Elias Diaz with 1 out and nobody on. Memphis rained out tonight, so Jack Flaherty won't begin his rehab until Thursday. Ollie was saying before the game he was going to throw around 35 pitches or so tonight. He's pretty excited, Ollie is, about the reports they're getting back on Jack Flaherty returning. And a base hit to left. Diaz on base for the 2nd time to go along with a walk.
Well, why wouldn't you be excited? That's the thing. It's you look at your starting staff right now, and it's been solidified with Quintana and with Jordan Montgomery. But if you've got the chance to add Jack Flaherty at the end of this season, you want to talk about a shot in the arm. I mean, that's a huge one. So they'll be patient with him. They'll make sure he's good to go when he does ultimately come back. But it's great news.
The Phillies come back and they beat Miami. They are 41-19 since June 1st. That's their best 60-game stretch of baseball since 2011. And they've got the Mets coming up this weekend, and some of the matchups are going to be fun.
That's going to be a good series.
Yep. DeGrom and Scherzer scheduled to pitch for the Mets in that series. Wheeler for the Phillies. So it's where, you know, when it gets fun, you're scoreboard watching and seeing the great matchups. Yeah. Everything is magnified going down the stretch.
Well, we were talking about players that you have to tune in and see, and we were talking about offensive players, but you just mentioned 2 of them. When they're pitching, if Scherzer's pitching, I'm watching. If DeGrom is pitching, chances are I'm going to be watching.
Yeah. And the 0-2 swung on and missed, and a strikeout, number 3. We both grabbed a bite to eat after the game last night. We're watching the Mariners and the Yankees in extra innings. That was fun.
Game. Talking about a pitcher's duel there too. Garrett Cole, he was nasty. Luis Castillo, the new Mariner, he was good. By the way, that's nasty too. 3 curveballs to punch out Ryan McMahon. All of them got really good depth to them, working the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, the Yankees at one point in the extra innings only had, for one of the half innings, sent 2 batters to the plate. They ran into outs.
Might have to clean that up a little bit.
Yep. Montero, a swing and a miss. Grounder and a base hit. Montero's hitting 9 straight. 2 hits in the inning, and it extends the inning to Jonathan Daza.
Well, another curveball. It's down in the zone, and a good one again. Middle, but down. Montero goes down and gets it. It's a pretty swing that he's got.
Gomber had been up and throwing for the second time in the bullpen for the Rockies. He sits again. 2 runners on, and Daza at the plate. He has scored the only run for the Rockies, and that is fouled back.
Daza's first hit was actually a really nice pitch by Jose Quintana. Fastball in off the plate, and really just pushed it out to right field.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Quintana. 0-2. He's really tried to pound that side of the plate, hasn't he?
He's done a good job with it too, and what it allows you to do when you get that fastball in, it opens up the outer half. Talk about how good his curveball is. Well, he can backdoor that curveball. He can go down and away with the changeup if he wants to. But if you're not commanding the inner half of the plate, hitters can just look away and be able to jump on it.
0-2 the count, and the next from Jose Quintana. Swing and a miss, elevates the fastball. 2 strikeouts in the inning and 4 in the game. We move to the 5th, and the Redbirds on top here in game 2. Sun setting here in Colorado. Beautiful night. 5-1 our score. Cardinals sent 10 men to the plate in the first inning, picked up 5 runs. And it's Tyler O'Neill 1 for 2 with a RBI double. Runs scored back in the first. Then Paul DeYoung and Yadier Molina.
Well, you wouldn't think that there's too much left in the tank here for Kyle Freeland. 83 pitches now.
Gomber up for the 3rd time. So any kind of trouble, he's probably coming out of this game. Cardinals with 8 hits tonight and 5 runs. Hit to 3rd. McMahon just gets O'Neill racing down that first base line. First out here in the 5th inning, so to Freeland's credit, after that first inning, he settled in.
Yeah, he did, and I thought that the Cardinals had a really good approach in that first inning. Anything that was up, whether it be a slider, curveball, fastball, they were putting good swings on. He's made the adjustment of getting down in the zone more, and he's seeing, you know, it paid dividends, getting a lot of ground balls here recently.
There's Paul DeYoung, 1 for 2. And a base hit to left and an RBI. The 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. So after the ball game tomorrow, Cardinals head home Friday night, 7:15, the first pitch. The 82 weekend, Jordan Montgomery, Eric Lauer. Saturday, Adam Wainwright, Corbin Burns. Boy, that's a good one. And then Michaelis and Ashby on Sunday.
You can bet that Miles Michaelis is already really looking forward to Sunday.
What is the next day like for a pitcher after a game like last night?
You know what? Miles Michaelis has the right approach, and we heard from him in the post game yesterday, pre-game today, and you just flush it. You look and say, hey, we got to.
Deep right and off the wall. And DeYoung, another extra base hit. 2nd hit tonight.
How about that, though, going the other way with it? That's a great sign for Paul DeYoung. Sinker down and away from him, drives it that way. Talk about another guy that's bounced back. But with Miles Michaelis, you flush it, is what you do. But you also want to get back out there again. So 14 hits he ended up surrendering. 10 of them were singles. And you know how good the season has been, so you let it go and get right back to work.
Paulie D is driving the baseball, isn't he?
Just looks comfortable. He looks quiet in the box, smooth. His head's clear.
Molina hits it out to left field. That ball is down. And a one-hopper off the wall and left. Yachty will be held to a single. DeYoung scores. It's back to a 5-run St. Louis lead. It's a 6-1 lead for the Cardinals. Yachty, thank goodness he didn't twist his ankle going around the bag at first. That was an odd turn at first base. And he's smiling. 6-1 Redbirds.
Well, we've seen this a lot over the career of Yadier Molina. He's got an opportunity with a runner in scoring position. He is very aggressive on the first pitch, and that's what he gets. First pitch, slider, trying to go back door with it, ends up middle, and just sits back and drives it to left.
That'll chase Kyle Freeland and Austin Gomber, the former Cardinal, trotting in from the bullpen. 6-1 St. Louis. Last year, 5 runs, 5 innings, which included, by the way, a home run hit by Jack Flaherty. Here's Nootbaar. There's a triple tonight to right center, his second big league triple, first of this season. And with the bases loaded, a sac fly and a run batted in the first inning. Chevy called to the pen. Austin Gomber, his 6th relief appearance. And a ground ball hit to first. It is fair. And they'll get Yachty running to second. And out number 2. Dylan Carlson, 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Freeland 4 1/3. He's will now close the book on him, but 4 1/3, 10 hits, strikeout, couple of walks.
Yeah, most of that damage, as you mentioned, all in the first inning. I thought he settled in okay, but as that pitch count was getting there in the upper 80s, it was about time to get him out of there, get a new look.
You may remember Austin Gomber was the minor league pitcher of the year with Alex Reyes in 2015. Pitched parts of 2 seasons with St. Louis in 18 and in 20. Originally selected by the Cardinals, 4th round in 2014. Runner goes. That is Nootbaar, and a good jump and a stolen base. And Lars has his 2nd steal of the year.
It's a fan favorite right there at home and on the road. We heard the Newts when the team was in Washington. Certainly hear them at home, and here in Colorado, they are going crazy.
Right now, you can't take him out of the lineup with the way that he's playing.
No, there was a job opening, and he's trying to slam the door.
Yep.
And doing a very good job.
Carlson hits it slowly to short, gloved by Iglesias. And makes the play. Cardinals have left 7 on through 5, but pick up another run. And it's 6-1 in favor of the Cardinals. Deep base hit for a single that brought in DeYoung. 6-1 Cardinals, and it's a look back at Rockies greats in their history. And Brad, I'm not sure if you know who that is.
I'm not sure who that is. Probably a pitcher.
No,
of sorts.
It's kind of changed over the years. That would be Charlie Blackmon.
That's not the same guy.
That is the same guy.
Who was the first guy we showed the?
That was Charlie Blackmon too.
What? Is he witness protection? Should have changed the name as well.
That does not look like Charlie Blackmon, but that's Charlie Blackmon.
I mean, does the beard stay forever? Like he's done playing? Does he shave it?
Jason Mott's wife actually likes the beard, I'm told, and he has that post-playing career. It's a soft liner to second, and the catch made by Tommy Edman. What about John Brebbia? I mean, post-playing career, he could be a like a throw-in in Game of Thrones for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's very versatile.
Yeah. He's even got the accent for it, too, when he wants to play the part.
He's one of the most interesting people I've ever had the chance to be around.
It should have been left-handed.
He's got the personality.
Yeah. And that's not a shot of anybody that's left-handed. It's just an expansive personality.
Just saying how creative you are.
That's right. Thank you. And the first pitch, a strike to Iglesias. Brad, it is rare that I draw a blank. But he was in the booth and I interviewed him.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna throw some things at you here.
All right, I like games.
Okay, they love the outdoors. They have a bunch of beards. The Robertsons,
the Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's what I think of there when I see Charlie Blackmon. Yeah, that's Duck Dynasty.
Could easily be in the family.
Well, he's got business in the front and a party in the back
that's
too.
A total package.
I mean, he's got a mullet. He could fit in playing hockey. He could be an outdoorsman. He could play right field for the Rockies.
Well, he's a little ahead of the time, but I feel like the mullet has been coming back. Like that Joe Dirt. A little bit of that going on. I mean, a much cleaner version of it.
Sure. But that is a business in the front, party in the back right there, my man.
You should try that.
You think so? I can pull it off?
I know you could. Pulling off a hairdo like that is about your attitude. If you wear it and aren't comfortable in your own skin, that's on you.
2-2 out to deep left, going back O'Neill. Just over his head. And trotting into second base, Iglesias. Rockies have doubled now in 31 consecutive games.
Iglesias goes down and gets this one. Had a nice night last night. 3 hits. This one's a curveball down middle. O'Neill going back for it. Can't get there. Plays it off the wall.
I think you could pull off the facial hair.
Boy, I think it's going to take a while.
Oh, I'm not saying it's going to be quick. And it's going to be a little spotty.
Yeah. I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm working on 40 years right now. And, not
that
yet.
Really worked.
Yeah, no, I can grow out the mustache. I can
Can
get you a good-looking catfish mustache here. A little wispy. You get that going in a good day or two.
Is that right?
Yeah, we'll see. I'll pull it off for tomorrow, maybe. And I'll just continue it growing.
Why don't you do it in honor of Miles and his start on Sunday?
Just keep it going until then?
Yep.
I'm going to have to see people before then.
Including your family?
I don't know if that's going to work.
Dad, what is that?
It's for Miles.
Now, if you said that, I think your son, who loves baseball, would be like, okay, I'm all in.
He'd be in. He'd be in for sure.
Yep.
My wife, who also loves baseball, I don't think she'd be in as much.
Really?
Yeah, probably. She'd probably just have me stay at a hotel or something.
She loves you, I think.
Yeah, no, she does. Yeah, without the mustache.
Oh,
we'll see.
You're just trying to keep it, at home. Kids happy, and a happy kid is a happy wife.
I see what you're doing. We're building a bridge here.
Yeah.
All right, mustache here. Here we
Connect
come.
the dots here.
Here we come. Well, I'll have to do that with the mustache. It'll be a little patchy.
Connect time together. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Rogers, and it's taken low. The 1-2 pitch, check swing, and he went. The strikeout of Rogers, number 5 tonight for Quintana. The BJC Healthcare difference maker, the Cardinals starter.
Well, that pitch that we just saw the punch out on, the curveball, has been really good for Quintana. But the reason it's so effective, he's been using his fastball, using it to both sides of the plate, really tying up the right-handers with it, and certainly using that great defense behind him. He's looking good. The pace is good. You can tell he's out there. There's no messing around with Jose Quintana on the mound.
Made a really good point earlier, Brad, when you said even before his first start, you could just tell he was excited. And you could. I mean, and guys will feed off that, and I think that's what we're seeing a little bit here, too.
How could you not be?
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not? The Pirates gave him an opportunity this year. They signed him to a one-year deal, tried to reestablish his value. Well, that's exactly what he did. He pitched well, got dealt to a contender, and you know he's energized.
C.J. Cron at the plate is walked and popped out. Hits it the other way and a fair ball. That'll score Iglesias. Cron, the double. Ball gets away from Newbar. And Cron to third. Lars had all kinds of issues trying to get that ball back in.
Well, Cron gets a fastball away, drives it down the line, and you could tell he wasn't thinking 3 right out of the box. But right here, this ball kicks off the wall, and Newt just can't get to it in time. That's where he turns it on.
And really nothing that Newbar could do there. Just took a bad hop on him.
It was just, it was that angle. You didn't know exactly where it was going to hit.
And here's Randall Grichuk, 6-2 our score. There's a 0-1 pitch. With Grichuk's power, this becomes an important at bat right here. One swing and all of a sudden it's 6-4. Games can swing in a hurry at this ballpark. High, and it's 2-1. Stretching out in the Cardinal bullpen as Quintana is approaching 90 pitches with 2 outs here in the 5th. Third triple of the season for Cron, 10th of his career. He's at third base with 2 away. Grichuk is 0 for 2 tonight. And the 2-1 pitch, little flare out to center. Racing over to make the catch, Dylan Carlson. RBI triple for Cron, and it's a 6-2 St. Louis lead. Valley Sports Midwest, the Cardinals and the Rockies. Dakota Hudson against Marquez. Our Budweiser, what's on tap? Tommy Edman, Goldschmidt, Arenado. If anybody can reach, then Albert Pujols. Austin Gomber came in with 1 on 1 out in the 5th after 4 1/3 from Freeland. Gave up 6 runs on 10 hits, struck out 1, walked 2. Tommy is 0 for 3 tonight. And head to head against Gomber, does have a base hit, 1 for 3. Inside.
You have to feel like after that first inning where the Cardinals put up 5 runs, they've left some meat on the bone. There've been 7 left on in this ball game. Love to be able to tack on.
It's chopped foul, and it's 2-2. So just 3 games on the road, and the Cardinals go back to Busch Stadium. They play great baseball there this year.
Well, it's exciting who you're going back and playing. I mean, it's you and the Brewers. It's a 2-team race in the Central with a chance to continue to gain ground.
Ouch. It's a foul ball off the foot, it looks like, of Tommy. Cardinals will have Milwaukee, and then we'll see the Rockies again. Then the Cardinals have one of those odd series coming up in which they'll be in Arizona for 3, but then play 5 games in 4 days at Wrigley, where anything can happen in those games.
Yeah, that one's got a chance to be a ton of fun.
Yeah. Well, knowing you, it's going to be fun at the ballpark, but obviously you'll pay tribute to the great people on Rush Street.
A lot of day games. Got to be in bed early in Chicago. That's always a rule. Always has been.
You never abide by.
No, rules are meant to be broken.
Taking it third and the first out. And with all that talk, let's bring in Alexa.
Dan, I had the chance to catch up with Paul Goldschmidt, talking to him about Nolan Arenado before the game. I went to him with some numbers, and I said, Arenado since July 1st, hitting .364, 1151 OPS, those 8 homers and 20 RBI. How impressive have the last 6 weeks been for your teammate? And I said, and after having maybe a bit of a down period, well, Goldie quickly reminded me that Arenado was the NL Player of the Month in April and said, listen, that's the game. There are ups and downs, but what impresses me the most about Arenado's career is that he has had sustained success throughout it on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, that year after year he puts together great seasons that any player would be lucky to be in his shoes.
Alexa, the guys feed off each other. They watch how the other works. Nolan was talking about that the other day. The approach, the steadiness of Paul Goldschmidt, and then you see the fire of Nolan Arenado, and it's a good match. I mean, these two guys are the best in the business at what they do, the corners. And we should have mentioned too, Alexa will visit with Albert Pujols on the pregame tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. Number 5 will sit down with Alexa before the day game tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing that interview. 3-1, hit out of play, 3-2. Oh, and a nice play made by a fan. Brought a glove and picked up a souvenir.
That's why you bring a glove.
It's a heck of a play. The versatility to not only get up out of the seat, stretch as high as you can, and then make the play. Well done. 3-2 pitch to Goldie. You mentioned Chris Carpenter. I'm sure you saw it from the pitching side, how he went about it. He was an animal. No, I mean, in the best of ways. I mean, he just got after it.
Yeah, no, so you brought up a great point with those guys watching each other work. Carpenter was a really good example of a guy that I watched him work on days that he wasn't pitching, and it made me want to do what he did. And it made you realize why that guy was as good as he was. Yeah, he had a ton of ability. As Goldie gets tied up by the breaking ball there. Tons of ability with Carpenter, but the work that he put in behind the scenes is what made him truly special.
So 2 outs, and it brings in Arenado. He's got 2 hits tonight. It's the ground out to third by Edman, strikeout of Goldschmidt, first of the night for Gomber. And now Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, when you got a couple of guys on your team that live baseball, just eat it, breathe it, that's Nolan Arenado, that's Goldie, and certainly others fall into that category. It makes you want to do what they're doing.
Out to deep left. It is gone. It's a home run. Nolan returns to Denver and goes deep. His 23rd home run. A triple away from the cycle now.
I can't tell who's doing all the cheering here. Is it the Rockies fans or all the Cardinal fans that have traveled here to Coors? Either way, some loud noises. First, the noise of the ball off the bat of Nolan Arenado. That was a bomb.
And here is Albert Pujols. Albert is 2 for 3 tonight with a single, a double, RBI, and a run scored. Long home run, Nolan Arenado.
You throw him a breaking ball, it better not be there. That thing's center cut from Gomber.
Career home run number 137 at Coors Field for Arenado. A ball and a strike on Albert Pujols. The next. Pulled foul by Albert. 1-2. The next. Pulled foul again. Pujols, by the way, is closing in on total bases for second all time in the history of baseball. Albert with 7 tonight. About 20 away or so from Stan the Man.
Austin Gomber up there throwing the kitchen sink at Albert. He tried the slider, the fastball, the changeup. Think he's better off going with the harder slider. You throw him that breaking ball you threw Arenado, he might do the same thing.
By the way, Hank Aaron had 6,856 total bases.
That's going to be tough to catch.
The next closest, Stan the Man, at 6,134. That's an amazing stat from Hank Aaron. The 1-2. Got a piece. And consider that. I mean, that's 6,856 total bases. 6,134 the next closest. It's incredible.
Yeah. And again, obviously Stan the Man, one of the best players to ever play the game of baseball, and you've got that sort of a margin, just tells you the dominant player that Hank Aaron was for as long as he did it.
What an at bat here by Albert.
That's the pitch too that I think he ends up hammering. If Gomber ends up leaving one of those over the plate, threw 2 curveballs in a row, had one down. Albert just got a piece of it, that one in.
Another 1-2 pitch to Albert Pujols. Albert hits it out to deep left. It's at the wall. Gone! Albert Pujols, in a game in which he is tied Ty Cobb in games played, is back at the ballpark in which he had his first ever major league hit. Decades later, he's going deep. Albert Pujols, 687 career homers. What an at-bat. Arenado and Pujols have gone back-to-back.
Albert gave the people what they wanted to see on the 9th pitch of the at-bat, gets the hanging breaking ball and deposits it.
Well, Brad, you called it. You said, hey, if he gets that pitch, you better watch out. He puts it in the seats.
At some point, he was going to miss middle with one of those.
And so the Cardinals go back-to-back. Albert, by the way, is a triple away from the cycle.
The Rockies had 22 hits yesterday. They scored 16 runs. The place was not as loud as that moment right there.
That might have been fans from both sides cheering that.
I think it was. And rightfully so. You're seeing history right here. You're seeing one of the best to ever play the game of baseball. You honor that.
687 for the great Albert Pujols. And a strikeout of Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals back-to-back solo home runs. Arenado back in Colorado. Number 23, Albert, his 8th of the year. 3 hits tonight. And count them up, 687 homers. Back-to-back home runs. Arenado and Pujols, by the way, both triple away from the cycle. Nolan Arenado with his 137th home run at this ballpark, 2 shy of Cargo. That's 4th most Nolan in Coors history. Todd Helton, 227. And by the way, that's also the 448th different pitcher that Albert Pujols has taken deep, one back of Bonds.
A pretty good list. I love seeing Quintana still out there. Pitch count now at 90. Quintana's gone over the century mark twice this year, just twice. Last time was July 15th, actually here in Colorado against the Rockies.
John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations, began his baseball career with the Rockies. He was a left-handed batting practice pitcher in 1993, and he worked a variety of roles with Colorado. He was in the home clubhouse, then it was baseball operations, joined the Cardinals as an assistant in scouting in 1995. He's been with the Cardinals a long time. He originally drafted Albert Pujols, and he brought him back home for one more year. And this has been fun. It's
one of the best decisions ever.
It really is. It's just so much fun to watch.
And just having Albert back and the history in full circle, the story of it would have been good. This is great, what he's been able to contribute.
He's crushing left-handed pitching.
He is. He is, and he's helping everybody.
Yep.
And his presence does a lot for his teammates, and it does a lot against the opposition.
That'll carry to center, and the catch made off the bat of Diaz by Dylan Carlson. First Responders Appreciation Night at the ballpark, Wednesday, August 17th, Thursday the 18th. Purchase of a theme ticket, receive an exclusive Cardinals First Responders hat representing their choice of law enforcement, fire, or EMS. And cardinals.com/theme to get your tickets. Here's Ryan McMahon. I was excited when they brought him back, Brad, and my expectations were tempered because of his age, having seen him with the Dodgers at the end last year. And I thought, you know what, he can hit lefties. He'll be okay. You're going to have to be careful about how much you play him. But the game that he had in Toronto with guys like Arenado and Goldie out, and they needed that game. And some of the at-bats he's had against righties, it's been different than what we saw at the beginning of the year. I love him against righties or lefties right now.
He was arguably your best hitter for parts of July. Like he was out there taking really good quality at bats against a little bit of everybody. And there is something to having that guy around. And I'm telling you, it does something to the pitcher on the other side when he sees him stand in the box.
The 1-2. So you're talking about just the factor, the presence of number 5.
It's a different feel when one of those guys steps in. And you think to yourself, oh, well, it's just got to execute my pitch. But then you try to do something more, try to do something different. And then he makes you pay for it.
Little check swing and back to Quintana. Albert will step on the bag, and that's 2 away. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Great Southern Burr.
As the sun comes up on a crisp new morning, you're busy eyeing your next move. When you're ready to take on your next challenge, we'll be right there with you. Great support, Great Southern Bank.
So 2 outs, and here's Montero. Well, Brad, if Albert gets that triple tonight, I think you should get that elusive tattoo that you've always been wanting and talking about.
I'll at least draw out the mustache.
Okay, we can.
Let's
come to a compromise.
Yeah.
It's softly up the third base line and foul.
At the moment I bet against number 5 doing something, forget it. I'm not betting a full back piece on that. No thanks. I mean, I think I can pull it off just like you with the mullet, but I'm not ready.
By the way, that play by Arenado, that's a foul ball. You may notice if you watch him like we do every night, he will complete that play knowing that it's foul because he says that's times that you can work on things and come up with those crazy plays. So he'll always do that.
It's a free rep.
Yep. This team is entertaining. And a swing and a miss. Quintana gets a strikeout, and that is 6. A low throw and handled by Albert. Good work by Jose Quintana. It's 8-2 Redbirds. And we remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's Paul DeJong. And DeJong with 2 hits tonight. He's got an RBI single to left and a double and a run scored in inning number 5. DeJong deep left, and it's over the head of Daza. And Paul DeJong with 3 more hits here tonight, 2 of them extra bases.
Your Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks here to DeJong. Breaking ball hangs up, and he is crushing everything right now. You make a mistake, he's not just hitting it, he's hitting it hard. You saw him in his last at-bat. It was a fastball away. He drove it the other way. This time a double in the left center gap. His single in the first inning, Dan, since being recalled, that was his first single. Everything else had been doubles and home runs.
Yachty a base hit into right field. DeJong being waved in. The throw, and he is out. And Yachty will wind up at second base.
Well, we saw this last time when DeJong ended up doubling. It was Yachty on the first pitch hitting a single. Does it again. They get aggressive, and DeJong gunned out at the plate, goes down and gets 90. Blackman comes in, hits his cutoff man, and complete the play.
Well, DeJong did not get a great jump from second base. Yachty winds up at second. As he was hesitant, I think, just to make sure it wasn't caught. Little surprised that he was sent home, but he is, and he's thrown out. Yeah, so it's 8-2.
Overly aggressive in that spot, and sometimes you want to force the issue. You do have yourself a little bit of a lead. You know you have to make a perfect play to be able to get them. And they executed.
So it stays 8-2 on the scoreboard. Cardinals with 14 hits tonight. I'll be honest, I was shocked that he was sent, and maybe Pop Warner saw something with that throw or the cut, because I think initially he was going to hold up DeJong. A swing and a miss by Nootbaar. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Little check swing and slowly hit. Nootbaar is going to make this close, and he is out. Molina advancing to third. By the way, Paul DeJong in his last 10 games, 5 doubles, 4 home runs, and has driven in 13.
That'll play.
Woo. Cardinals have a right-hander getting loose. Quintana is now over 100 pitches. That's Andre Palante throwing for St. Louis. Quintana, just the 10th Cardinal with 6 or more strikeouts in his first 2 starts with the Cardinals. And the last to do that was Jake Westbrook in 2010.
I've been really impressed with what we've seen. I love how aggressive he is. His ability to locate to all sides of the plate. He'll throw his breaking ball on any count. He's fitting in fine.
Dylan Carlson at the plate. 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. And a pitch taken high. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So Gomber gave up the back-to-back home runs. Freeland gave up 6. That's a grounder to Iglesias, and we stretch. Cardinals have left 8 on through 7 innings, but they lead this ball game 8-2. Fans ages 16 and older take home an embroidered 1982 V-neck jersey courtesy of Phillips 66. Tickets and information available just for you. I'm talking to you at cardinals.com/promotions. So Quintana is out and Palante is in. 8-2 St. Louis.
Yeah, 6 strong from Jose Quintana. He looked good. Your Chevy call to the bullpen is Andre Palante. 29 games. Last pitch in relief of Dakota Hudson went 4. Picked up the win, his 5th of the season against the Yankees. I'm really interested to see with Palante too what his role ends up really being here. You know that he can fit in the rotation. How about his last start that he had before being put back in the bullpen? He went 8 scoreless against the Nationals. Another nice weapon for the Cardinals.
I think you got to be careful though with looking at Palante going back and forth, and you would know this better than anybody. I mean, you did it. When you go back and forth from a bullpen to a rotation, you're back in a bullpen, and you got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a little bit easier for a player that has been in the league for a while and has built up the innings. He really hasn't. I mean, you look at the total for Palante. I think the highest he's ever thrown is around 120 if you add the Arizona Fall League into it.
And on the ground to Tommy Edman. And I think one of the things you maybe look at is Hudson better suited in the bullpen and Palante in the rotation, or vice versa?
So you have some options for sure. And look, Dakota Hudson has the opportunity to squash any of that tomorrow. He's got a chance against this Rockies team. Tough ballpark to pitch in, but would love to see him be able to bounce back from his last time out.
First pitch to Blackman is taken high. Now the truck is trying to make sure that we know that Cardinal legend right there, and he was one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, that would have scared him too.
But that guy, he was something. And if we could show that again, I remember when this young man came up and how intimidated I was when I saw that beard. Brad, that's you with a beard.
Yeah, no, that looks pretty good. I think
look how menacing you look.
I know. If I did in fact have that beard, 88 would have looked harder, you know?
Yeah.
Like, boy, That beard adds an extra 3-4 miles an hour. That's pretty good Photoshop work, everybody.
It's an amazing.
It's very full.
Job by Keith O'Brien to give you that full beard.
I mean, that was Brebbia-esque right there.
It really was. Look how menacing you look there.
Yeah, I'm going to work on that. I don't know how I start that process. Patience.
Backhanded by Arenado, and he gets his buddy Blackman. That's funny. Quick word from Siteman Cancer Center.
The Brain Tumor Center at Siteman. Committed to research, invested in technology, powered by Washington University physicians.
A little nervous sitting next to you right now.
I kind of want to see a Fu Manchu next. Let's have some fun with this. I feel like that. What was the thing where the old kid's toy where you have the stuff and you put it on the face?
It,
yeah. Is it Wooly Willy?
Something
Does that
like
sound right?
You got Al on the post game too, I think, tonight. And if you're going to talk about facial hair, you have to talk to Al.
Maybe I grow out the mustache and Al goes clean shaven.
I've seen Al. He had a couple years he was clean shaven.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yep. Not nearly as menacing. Because now when he comes in the booth.
Oh, people scatter.
Yeah. Another ground ball. Tommy Edman puts it on the ground. What a play. A one-hopper right to Pujols to get Jose Iglesias. Taking notes, watching Iglesias do that. Look at that. You are one menacing dude. %, MLB verified tickets through StubHub, and tickets available on StubHub always up until the first pitch. There's Tommy Edman lining it out to left. And Daza fortunate to keep that in front.
He was lucky to do that. Charging in on that ball, ended up getting caught in between. We've seen Tommy Edman very aggressive early in counts, jumps on this fastball down in the zone.
By the way, I misspoke on that play to end the inning. That was a very good play by Paul DeJong at short, using the turf on that one hopper over to Albert Pujols.
That's a good play. That's the thing about Paul DeJong, is he is a complete player. We're seeing the offense come alive. The defense has always been there for him.
And here is Goldie. Gomber came in with 1 on, 1 out in the 5th after 4 1/3 from Freeland. And a strike. Nope, taken a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. Goldschmidt singled and scored. He's walked, was robbed by Iglesias in the 4th, and struck out in the 6th. Edman, your runner at first base. And that's a strike. 2-1. Arenado on deck, and then Albert. Well, the internet's an interesting thing, Brad, because you're getting a lot of pictures sent to you with a mustache.
It looks pretty good. I think I can pull it off.
I do too.
Now, it might be a lifestyle change. I might have to do a few things differently, but I'll pull it off. Thinking about buying a van.
What?
I picture myself as like a van guy with a mustache, just cruising, you know?
Is that right?
Yeah. Lifestyle change.
I didn't think you were going to go down that road, but that's interesting.
Just never know.
So you're going to get a mustache and a van.
Yeah. And caravan everywhere. Cruise across the country.
Is that right?
See the sights.
What does the mustache have to do with the van?
I don't know. It just changed everything for me.
You're going to throw out a stash and get a van.
Yeah, this is going to be tough to explain to the family, but look, they're going to be in. They love adventures.
What kind of van is it going to be? Like all
sure
decked
yet.
out, or?
Probably not. Let's start with a base. Let's make sure I like it.
Goldie hits it out to center. You got to get like the real shaggy carpet too if you get that, you know?
Yeah, probably something used for sure.
Some dice hanging off the, obviously. Here. You take this.
Budweiser plays of the game. Nolan Arenado with the home run, back-to-back, he and Albert. Been a fun one so far. Interesting game.
Interesting commentary, too. Really has been. Arenado is a triple away from the cycle. 3 hits tonight. Had the cycle earlier in Philly this year. Has a cycle at this ballpark.
It shouldn't be surprising with the cycle that he had in Philly that he didn't really seem to care about it because the Cardinals lost that game. Like, that's just who he is. He wants to win.
If Albert hits for the cycle, you're going to have to tell him that he owes you a van. That's what's happening.
He's going to have a great moment and buy me something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll see what my sales pitch is going to be, but okay.
It's either that or the tattoo you've been talking about, too. You're really going through some midlife stuff here. The van, the stash, and now the tat.
Well, I will say I did bring up the van, but the tattoos, that's been your idea.
I don't think so. Off the air, even showing me different ideas you've had.
Yeah, you think I would start small, but yeah, full back piece, I'm thinking.
Is that right?
Yeah, maybe.
Arenado hits it down the left field line, but hooks it foul. It's a lot of ink.
It's worth it.
Popped up behind home plate and just below us.
And Gomber better be careful. That changeup that you saw Arenado come out of his shoes on, he left that thing up just barely out in front of it. You saw the hanging breaking ball he drove out of the ballpark in the 6th. Anything up is trouble. I find it really interesting, too, with Nolan Arenado now 23 home runs. He has pulled every single one of them.
Runner goes. That's Edman, and stolen base number 23.
It's a nice jump by Tommy Edman. This is stolen off of Gomber. Lefty, you're going first movement. As soon as that leg picks up, he's gone. Pretty quick catch and throw there by Diaz.
Arenado hits it out of play. Arenado hits another out to deep left. That'll stay in the ballpark near the line, and the catch is made. It brings in Albert Pujols. First career hit, 2001 opening day against Mike Hampton. And a base hit in the 7th. 2001, 2022. Some things never change.
It really is incredible. It's incredible seeing that swing from 2001. 412 feet, the home run. It was a breaking ball. He fought off some pitches to get to that one, too. Gomber finally hung him a slider, and he crushed it.
687, StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Pujols, a base hit out to left. Here comes Edman. The throw is in time, and they got him. Albert Pujols with a 4-hit night. The outfield assist from Daza. A couple things you think about on this kind of play. Number one, does he slide under the tag? Number two, does he have a lane to get to the plate? Take a look here.
I believe from that angle it looked like he had a lane. The question is, did he get it in? Good throw here by Daza. Speedy Tommy Edman, you understand sending him there.
4-hit night for Albert.
With you in Denver, Andre Pallante warming up here on the mound for his second inning in this game. Him and I spoke about the difference between being a starter and a reliever for him. He said it's two things. The first one, the game plan for starting and seeing a batter 3 times. It's obviously much more preparation. As a reliever, it is different. And the second thing, he said controlling his adrenaline coming out of the pen. How does he do that? Something called box breathing, guys. It's 4 seconds in, 4 seconds holding your breath, 4 seconds out, and then 4 seconds holding your breath again around like a box. He said he learned it from his mental skills coach in Memphis, and he said, if you see me on the mound holding my breath, that's exactly what I'm doing.
That is interesting.
It is interesting. I used to hold my breath after they hit it.
Oh, please, stay in the ballpark.
Come on. To be able to slow yourself down is really next level. It is. This game speeds up on you so quickly. So if you can calm yourself and be able to execute pitch to pitch, because it's cliche, but it is so true. It's one pitch at a time. And there's a great look at it right there. He's calming himself down on the mound. That's something that stood out to us early on with Andre Pallante. No matter how the game is going, he always appears to be in control.
It's really good stuff. And a base hit into center. Brendan Rodgers. And a single to left, now a single to center. 8th hit for the Rockies. While we have a moment, quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
It's really interesting because, you know, there are mental coaches that are employed across professional sports now. You've got nutritionists, you have obviously the traditional coaches of first base, pitching, third, hitting, assistant hitting, but little things like that, if that can help you, it's worth the investment by a ball club or any team.
It is. It is. But you know what? It's also something that the player has to buy into. And obviously, Andre Pallante has done that. We watch the physical side of it night in, night out. And we see it. We see big arms and power and bats and great speed. But the mind is what's going to take you to the next level.
By the way, Albert Pujols, a couple things to consider here tonight. It's his first 4-hit game since August 30th of 2019 when he was with the Angels against Boston. The last time he had a 4-hit game with the Cardinals was September 20th of 2011 against the Mets. So that's the last time that happened. 45th time that he has had a 4-hit game, 38 times as a Cardinal. So of the 45, 38 with St. Louis. That's tied with Brock Flood Medwick's second most in franchise history.
We talked about it earlier in the ball game. It's just so fun to watch. It's fun to watch him do what he does. And it's also fun to just watch the joy in which he's doing it. He's just loving playing baseball right now.
He also went back-to-back in this game as Cron hits it foul and out of play. Arenado hit the home run to left, and then Pujols the home run to left. He's been a part of back-to-back home runs 56 times. 56, third most all-time. It's A-Rod 66, Manny Ramirez 58, Albert Pujols 56.
Well, not shocking to hear those names and you know those teams attached. Pretty good lineups in there.
Amazing. A swing and a miss. Strikeout for Palante, and that's his first of the night.
Pretty uncomfortable swing right there by C.J. Cron. Good slider. It starts away from by Palante. Outer half of the plate ends up way off, almost in the other batter's box. I think that tells you how much that slider from Palante looks like his fastball if you're going to get that swing from Cron.
So one away, and it's Randal Grichuk. Is this like a van down by the river kind of thing?
I haven't decided where the destinations are going to be. I could see hanging out by the water, though. We were also just talking about, motivational tactics.
Right.
Speeches. Who knows, man? I don't know where life's going to take me with this mustache.
Chris Farley, that was a motivational speech that night, no doubt. Van down by the river. Chandler Redmond of Springfield, the Springfield Cardinals, 4 home runs, 11 runs batted in tonight. Those are,
you mean this week?
Springfield records. Most home runs and runs batted in a single game. He's got 4 homers and he's driven in 11.
Night.
Well, Grichuk not happy. Back-to-back Ks. And there's 2 away.
Well, it was the slider away that he finished Cron on. This time the 4-seam fastball in, just catches the corner. Home plate umpire Chris Guccione, who has been very solid behind the plate, gives the corner here. Rich not happy.
That might be a little Yadier Molina part of that too.
That guy can buy you some calls, and the way that he just catches it.
Exactly.
It looks like the strike. Looks like it catches more of the plate than it does.
There's Diaz, and that's fouled back for strike 1. A swing and a miss.
That's filthy. That's a late breaker, that slider. Looks like the fastball. You got no chance to touch that.
Giovanni Gallegos getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen. And the 0-2 pitch by Palante.
Well, I like what Alexa was talking about with Palante, too, about the difference between being in the pen and as a starter and how you prepare. Right? In the bullpen, you're focusing on each batter of how do I get him out one time? So how would I attack one time? For Palante right now, his slider is that one-time pitch when you're trying to get that swing and miss.
At the 1-2. The check swing. did not go.
Went with the bigger breaking ball right there, too, and that's been something been really effective for him. He's got the curveball, he's got the slider, can throw the fastball mid to upper 90s.
And a swing and a miss. Diaz may have hurt himself. Palante strikes out 3 in the inning. Baseball is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. By Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. And presented by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. But Black is going to have to make some changes here. 8-2 is our score. Cardinals with 16 hits here in game 2. Robert Stevenson is the new pitcher, a right-hander. But Diaz seemed to hurt himself on that swing to end the 8th inning.
It was hard to see exactly what it was, potentially the wrist, but it was a very uncomfortable swing on a good slider. Stevenson, hard-throwing right-hander. Fastball runs up there around 97 miles an hour on average. Uses a slider off of that. So Brian Serven in.
So the new pitcher and the new battery is Stevenson and Serven. They may have to make a quick move and a call to their minor league affiliate, because you got a quick turnaround for the day game tomorrow.
Yes, you do. I don't know how quickly you can get somebody here. AAA is Albuquerque.
Depends on where they're playing as well. So the first batter for St. Louis here in the 9th inning is Tyler O'Neill. There's an RBI double and a run scored back in the first, and that's off his foot. Cardinals with Chris Stratton throwing in their pen.
So far, so good for the pitching, responding after game 1. Thought Quintana looked good. That was 2 really strong innings from Andre Palante.
Albert Pujols, a 4-hit night at the age of 42 years, 206 days. So he's the oldest player to have a 4-hit game since Ichiro back in 2016. Ichiro got hit number 3,000 at this ballpark. And I believe that was a triple off the scoreboard and right.
Not a bad way to do it.
Nope. A strikeout of Tyler O'Neill. He was a fascinating player.
Well, a guy that would put on a show during batting practice, too. I mean, he could hit every ball out of the ballpark if he wanted to, but come game time, he's trying to get hits.
He was setting us all up. Never forget, Al was doing the game with me, and we're in Seattle. It's an exhibition game when he first got called up. And we went to the cage to watch BP. We had heard so much about Ichiro. And Lou Piniella said, yeah, you know, I'm watching this guy, and he's just kind of a little slap hitter, you know. Hopefully we're going to see a little bit more. He later said that he was doing that on purpose. How about this guy, Paul DeYoung, with a 4-hit night, 2 singles, 2 doubles. But we later found out he was setting everybody up. He said, I didn't want to show my best stuff. He goes, why would I do that during exhibition games or spring training? Boy, this is good to see. 4 hits for DeYoung.
This is huge. It's huge, and he's covering a little bit of everything in this ball game. He's taking good at-bats against breaking pitches. That time a fastball up.
Here's Yadier Molina. And the first pitch is fouled back. Yadi's been on base 3 times tonight. Was hit by a pitch on an 0-2 delivery back in the first. Grounded out to short in the third. Hit a long single with an RBI in the 5th inning. And a single to right, which they tried to score Paul DeYoung, and he was thrown out by Charlie Blackmon.
That's 3 at-bats in a row, too, where he let it fly on the first pitch, trying to get something he could drive again.
Ichiro wound up having 4,367 professional hits between Japan and Major League Baseball. Pete Rose, 4,256 in the major leagues. And Pete Rose was part of the reunion and allowed to be at the ballpark with approval from Major League Baseball this past weekend for the Phillies.
I even put him on the broadcast.
He had some poignant words. It's a stark reminder to you, Brad, we're not on a delay.
Try to remind myself of that every single day.
The pitch in the dirt. And it's 1-2. It's the 4th career 4-hit game for Paul DeYoung, and the first since July 24th of 2019 at Pittsburgh. 3 of the 4 have been on the road. That might have been the night that he had 3 home runs at PNC.
That was a fun night.
It's there, and now we're seeing it again. This is fun to see. And it's huge for the Cardinals. Huge. DeYoung running, and Molina hits a high fly ball into left field. And the catch is made by Daza. Here's Nootbaar. Two outs and a runner at first. By the way, the young man we're talking about at Springfield having this huge night, Brad, his home runs were hit with a solo, then a 2-run homer, 3-run homer, grand slam.
He went home run cycle?
Yep, home run cycle.
It was a special night.
There's only been 2 home run cycles in the history of professional baseball. Both have been at the AA affiliate of the Cardinals tonight, and then the Arkansas Travelers were the AA affiliate for the Cardinals, and that was done by Tyrone Horn, July 27th of 1998. Pretty cool. Jordan Walker also hit his 13th home run of the year tonight. A ball and a strike, and Nootbaar sends this into the gap in left center. DeYoung racing to third. You know Pop Warner, he ain't holding anybody up. Nootbaar on his way to third. It's another triple. How about Nootbaar? He had a triple back in the third and a triple with an RBI here in the ninth.
Well, he was thinking 3 right out of the box. This one goes the other way. We saw him hit the triple to right center in his first hit of the game, and then goes the other way. Yeah, he's having a little bit of fun out there. Hanging breaking ball. And he's going for it. Again, anything up to him.
Pop Warner has been a busy man tonight. That's 17 hits, and it's a 9-2 St. Louis lead. 2 triples in the game for Newpark.
They just love the response. Last night did not go as planned for the Cardinals. A team that come in and won 7 in a row. They get it handed to them, and they give it right back today.
No chance Paul DeYoung was going to be held up in that spot.
No, he can't be. You got Newt right behind you. He's coming for 3. You better move.
He's motoring. There's Dylan Carlson, and Carlson fouls it back. He is 0 for 4 with a walk tonight. Edmundo Sosa, the last Cardinal with 2 triples in a game. That was August 28th last year. Taken high, and it's 2-2. Prior to that, it was Matt Carpenter in 2016. Line the other way, and the catch is made by Daza. Big night for Lars Nootbaar with a pair of triples, and it's all St. Louis. Quintana 6 innings. Arenado big night, 3 for 5. Albert 4 hits. DeYoung with 4 hits. This is exactly what the Cardinals needed after last night.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And just a lot of things that you feel very comfortable moving forward. Quintana in his second start. Fantastic. Albert doing his thing. That guy right there, Paul DeYoung, taking care of business. And you see the other piece of the trade that the Cardinals made with the Pirates. Chris Stratton on for his 44th game. Your Chevy call to the bullpen.
Good work by Palante. 2 scoreless innings, 3 strikeouts, and now Stratton. And the first batter will be Ryan McMahon. Remember, I asked you both on and off the air. I said, you know, what do you think the Cardinals need in trade deadline? And we both agreed. I mean, you needed pitching, starting pitching, but you said specifically, man, I'd like to see a veteran that just takes the ball, win, lose, or draw. I mean, he's just a guy that's always available, and that seems to be the case with Stratton.
It's important to have.
Soft liner and over Arenado on a base hit.
Well, Stratton ties him up there with the fastball in, but strong enough to get it out of the outfield. But when you have guys like that, and the Cardinals have some high-octane arms in the pen, certainly highlighted by Ryan Helsley that is out there. But they're very careful with how they use him, and rightfully so. You need guys that you pick up the phone. You're going to talk to everybody. You're going to talk to Stratton, how they're feeling on a given day. But you know what the answer is going to be out of a guy like Chris Stratton. He's going to be good to go.
18 hits by the Cardinals, second most this season. They had 20 hits at Pittsburgh back on May 22nd. And that's a base hit into center. And the first 2 with back-to-back singles. That one, Montero, he's got 2 hits tonight. And the batter will be Daza, 9th place batter. 28 hits combined in the game, 10 now for the Rockies. And that's hit out of play. 0-2. Daza hit a soft liner to right, scored. That base hit back in the third, struck out in the fourth, grounded out against Palante, the first man that he saw in the seventh. So tomorrow, Dakota Hudson against German Marquez, who is 6-9, 5.18 ERA. And Dakota 6-6, ERA just above 4. Ground ball left side, past the diving Arenado. And it gets past Tyler O'Neill, allowing the runners to advance. It'll be an error on O'Neill, his first of the season.
Well, the hope off the bat was that was going to be your double play ball, but right through that 5-6 hole, you see the head of Tyler O'Neill pop up a little bit, trying to see the runner before he makes the play on the ball. Just scoots under the glove.
Blackman against Stratton is 8 for 18 with a pair of home runs. Cardinals now with some activity in their bullpen. I believe it's a right-hander throwing. So 3 consecutive singles. The base hit to left by McMahon, Montero to center, and then Daza with the base hit to left, and then an error on Tyler O'Neill, his first.
Well, definitely not a game that you want to get another reliever involved in, but also one you don't want to see slip away from you after 3 singles. As you've mentioned many times in this series, you just never know in this ballpark. One swing of the bat changes a little bit of everything.
Runners at second and third. Nobody out. Top of the lineup for the Rockies. The Cardinals leading 9-3. Charlie Blackman at the plate. And the first pitch is strike. He is grounded out twice to short. Lined out to second and a base hit to center. The 0-1, low and outside. Cardinals trying to pick up win number 61 here tonight, go to 61-49. Arenado, foul territory, back to the infield. Oh, he made the catch. What a play. Nolan Arenado, and a strike to the plate to Molina. Wow.
Are you kidding me with this guy? He's out there way in left field to make this play. The no-look throw right back in. That's special.
He's just awesome. We're getting to watch one of the greatest defensive third basemen, and that's not an understatement, in the prime of his career. Man, what a play. Iglesias, shallow center, and it drops in. Run will score. Throw back into the infield with Albert at second base, and he'll call time. Little bloop single by Iglesias, and he's driven in a pair tonight, his second hit.
Well, 3 out of the 4 hits in this inning. You had a couple of flares, and you had a ground ball that snuck through a hole. Breaking ball down and away. Really good pitch by Stratton. And somehow found a home right there in the Bermuda Triangle in center field.
Runners at first and third. 2 runs have scored here in this bottom of the ninth to make it a 9-4 St. Louis lead. Nolan Arenado has had a heck of a night. He had the diving stop on Iglesias in the first. He makes that play moments ago with Blackman, and he's a triple away from the cycle. Ryan Helsley is throwing in the bullpen. And the 1-0 pitch, a base hit to center. 5 hits here in this bottom of the ninth. Rogers his 3rd hit of the night. The last thing you wanted to do is have Helsley get up and even just throw, but you may have to have him into the ball game before it's all said and done.
You might have to, unless you can get a ground ball. This thing center cut. That fastball got a little natural cut to it, trying to go in, ends up middle.
C.J. Cron with the lead of 9-5. And that pitch taken for a ball. So 5 hits in the inning. The 1 out was the play made by Arenado in foul territory. Cron tonight has an RBI triple and a walk. And Cron pops it up behind home plate. Yachty gives it a look, out of play. There's a ball game. Cardinals gave up 9 runs in the 9th inning against the Rockies. July 6th of 2010, they entered that 9th inning here at this ballpark. 9-3, they had a lead. It can happen.
Why would you look up a terrible game like that?
Well, Keith O'Brien sent it to me, so you can blame him.
All right. I mean, it's a good deep dive, but I don't need it.
Well, I think the point is, Brad,
no lead is safe in this ballpark?
That's right. Two and two the count on Cron. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout for Stratton, out number 2. Ten strikeouts in the lineup tonight for the Rockies.
Yachty wanted it up. He got it there. Cron, a very good low ball hitter.
Brings in Randall Grichuk with 2 outs and 2 on. And he is hitless tonight. First pitch, a ball. Had 5 hits last night, hitless tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch to Randall Grichuk. 1-2. And the Cardinal fans rise.
But for Stratton, you've seen those two swings from Randall Grichuk. The thought process is probably stay right there, stay down, stay away with that slider if you can.
Rockies down to their final strike, and the 1-2 pitch by Stratton. Spoiled, and we'll do it again. The 1-2 in the dirt. Serven, remember, he is on deck and not Diaz, who was hurt when he struck out in his last plate appearance against Palante. So the backup catcher is at the on-deck circle. And a count of 2-2 with 2 on and 2 outs, and the Cardinals leading 9-5. The next.
Stratton changed eye levels with the 4-seam up in the zone. Start a slider in the middle of the plate, let it break away.
And the 2-2. Slowly hit, charging, it's DeYoung. And he makes the play, and the Cardinals win it 9-5. They take game 2 of the series.
What a response. Game 1 of this series did not go as planned. Game 2, strong starting pitching. Bullpen got it done. 2 strong innings from Palante. How about Nolan's day? Albert, DeYoung. This was a team victory with a chance to win this series here tomorrow.
Stay with us. It's the post-game show. Hear from Ollie and the players. Big night for Albert Pujols, and the Cardinals win it by the final of 9-5. Post-game show comes your way next.